Menahot Daf Lamed Zayin Amud Aleph 18 lines down. First word of the line is Tana. Tana de Bimina She Al Yad Echad, the thing has to be on your arm. Zug keyboard is in the bicep. Bein Anecha between your eyes, the Rosh. Zog Kodkod is the first little Kodkod. My Hecha, where's the Kodkod? Amri de Bey and I Makum Shema Hosh Tinok Rofes, where the Fontana, where this infant's skull is soft. Ba'amine Plimo Mirabi, he asked the question. Mi Yesh Yesh Lo Shnei Roshim. Someone who has two heads. How do you put on tefillin? Amar Rabbi says, Okungli, either go into exile, or you don't excommunicate yourself. Because it was such a silly question. Adahachi, while he's saying, Ahatahu Gavra, a man came, he said, I have a son who was born to me that has two heads. Come about the method of the Kohen. How much money do I give to a Kohen to redeem him as a firstborn? Atahu Saba, a certain old man came. Some people say, Masachet Hulin, it says, Tosafot says referring to the Navi. 10 and he said, Hayal the 10 no, I said Slim to give him 10 instead of 5. And he's at the case, Vatan and Hamami Tosh Nemar Patois to say the Bechol Adam Pasas shall redeem him. Shmian and I feel Nitraf Patosh me, even if he's killed within the first 30 days, maybe you would think that he has to do it. To Malmar, what the Pasuk says, Halak divides it. Therefore, if he's not going to survive, you don't have to redeem. Now, this is the case, the person has two heads. For sure, also, they don't have to redeem it. The Gemara says, Shani Achad, the Torah said head. You go according to the head, the Pasuk says specifically, so maybe over here by the Pidyon Kohen, it would be needed. Amor. Yadacha regarding the hand, the keyboard refers to the bicep. Mina Hainum arm means bicep. And number nine, Al Yadacha Zuko Bash refers to the higher part of the arm. Atamar Zego Bash, Mash, maybe means on the hand itself, not the bicep. And the Torah says, Hanach Tfilin Biyad, put the tefillin in your hand. Manach Tfilin Shorosh, and put the tefillin in your rosh. Malan Gubash is like the rosh is by the high part of the head, forward, not between the eyes. Avkan Goyash also the high part of the arm, which is the biceps. There's a different pasuk. Eno Tzarich. I remember pasuk says, Ve'el ought to be a sign. The ought only be for you a sign. V'lo not for anybody else a sign. Therefore, it's only visible by you. Rabbi Yitzchak Amar, Rabbi Yitzchak is different proof. And so you don't need those pesukim. How do you know pasuk says v'samtem et varay ele al lavchem ukshartem? Right, you should put it in your heart and you should tie it. Teaching you should tehet simav keneged live. You're tying it next to your heart, just bicep. They would be carefully put it right next to their heart. Now Rashi have yatzib committed him. I want them Rashi was sitting there. Have a yatzira b'eden with a tear in the sleeve of his arm. The comment hasn't been he saw tefillin. Amar, he said, "Leo savar la mor le'achal le'oz le'achino." Don't you know the concept that it's supposed to be hidden? A sign for you, not for anybody else. Amar, he says, "Bimkom le'achal le'ot itmar." It says no, a place where it's supposed to be a sign only for you and for others, but it's okay if other people see it. Okay. Govash b'rosh minan. How you know that the head seems to be on the higher part of the head? Johanna Brenner says, "But I didn't between your eyes." Zogovash refers to the high part of your head. Atamer zogovarosh. Maybe it means between your eyes, not the top. Then Markan be'enecha. So one pasuk says between your eyes. Then the Marlan lotnu korha be'enecha also says don't make a bald spot between your eyes. Malan govash is like over there talking about making a bald spot by death. But now you can't make a bald spot in your head. It means on top of your head. Malcolm said korha. Avkan begovash shagorosh malcolm says korha. So over here it refers to that spot as well, on top of your head. You build a mare, and you don't need that proof. I'm not going to say that puts it in the hand, hands in the rush, just like over there by the mitzvot. The arm tefillin is an application that can become tamed by one type of tzarat. So the arm tefillin can only have one type of tzarat, skin tzarat. Afkan to hit tefillin comes shalut to mebnei gachat, only one type of tzarat, skin tzarat. Lafuke benecha that excludes between your eyes the ika basar besar, because between your eyes there can be two types of tzarat, flesh tzarat and hair tzarat. The ika zar laban, the ika nami se'er tov. Okay. Arba'a tzitziot ma'akvud, as we said, the Mishnah said 4 tzitziot are required for each other. Sharba'atan mitzvah echad, because one mitzvah. Ma'abina, what's the difference between Tanakama and this Braita? Rabbi Shmuel says 4 of them are 4 mitzvot. What's the difference? Marisa says Sadin, but the difference is where they have a linen sheet with wool tzitzit. You have attached it to 3 corners and then you put it on. Tanakama would say you're chayav for wearing sha'anez because you did not. Right, so in general, you are allowed to wear sha'anez by tzitzit if you have wool and linen mixed because the Torah says you're allowed to do it. However, Rabbi Shmuel holds I don't need to complete the tzitzit because everything's a special mitzvah. So if I have 3 and I put it on, it's okay. In the meantime, until I put the 4th. However, Tanakama holds it out. Only mitzvah if you do all 4. So if you do 3 out of 4, it is still sha'anez. An explanation. The difference is if you have a clothing with 5 corners. Tanakama holds we need only 4. Rishmal said all 5. Ravina Marvin says the Rav Huna Ikman difference is Rav Huna. The Rav Huna says he said the Lich Enam said the Chalab Shabbat. If someone goes on Shabbat without wearing correct tzitzit, have chatat for carrying. Tanakh Amar Bishma would say Mahalka whether or not if it's a three corners that have tzitzit. Marav Shisha Bereda of Idi. Haiman de Tavre de Basre Leglime. Someone who cut off a corner of his four-cornered garment, lo abid lo kum, still chayav tzitzit. Shavet to lead ba'al hamesh because now there's five corners. Marav Mesharshia, Haiman de Tavre Leglima, someone who folded back and tied the corners of his garment to round them off. Lo abid lo kum, still considered corner. My time, why? Did it command the shred means as if it's already untied? Tanami Mishnah says, all leather flasks. They're not at the bottom, but not stitched tight, closed, are tahor, meaning they're still able to become tameh. You can only become tameh if it has a something to receive stuff, like a receptacle. Since you didn't stitch it closed, you only shut it closed, it's not, it's still able to come tameh. Hutz, mishal arbaim, except for the Arabs ones, because the Arabs ones are, that's how they're made. To fold back and sew down the corners. Lavakum is not done. It doesn't count. Because if he doesn't want each corner, lift sock which day, he should have cut it off. Different opinion. Rabbi Shmuel says, Abba says four corners are four mitzvot. Marv Demar Shmuel halacha Shmuel halacha Rabbi Shmuel. Let the halacha but the halacha is not like him. Rabbi halacha tanakama. The mother was walking behind the rabbi on Shabbat on the Chag after the speech. One of the corners got torn off. He didn't say anything. When he reached the house, Amalei said, from a certain part of the walk, it got cut off. If you told me right away, I would have thrown it on the floor. I wouldn't have carried it. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Versus more but we know that the dignity of a human is much more important. Even it goes against the lotas in Torah, meaning because of the dignity of the rabbi, you wouldn't have to rip off your shirt in the middle of the street. So what would make a difference if I told you earlier? This only applies uh, don't go against what Hachamim say. So the Rabbanans, you could go, human dignity overrides, but the Doraita, it would not override it. So you would have had to remove it. If you get a different version, he told him right away. Amarlei says, should I throw it off? I know that I don't have to take it off because it's dignity. And it says, you have to take it off, right? The exact inverted story of what we said before, a different version. The Gemara says, no, over here with some of the Carmelit Rabbanan, it's not a public place, it was a Carmelit, which is a Rabbanan carrying, and therefore he should have been able to walk with even and carry it.